The Battle of Karbala, Arabic Maraka Karbala, Romanized Maraka Karbala, was fought on 10th October 680, 10th Muharram in the year 61 AH of the Islamic calendar, between the army of the second Umayyad Caliph Yazid Farim, Bawar, 680 to 683, and a small army led by Hussein ibn Ali, the grandson of the Islamic prophet Muhammad, at Karbala, Sawad, modern-day southern Iraq. Prior to his death, the Umayyad Caliph Muawiyah I, AR 661 to 680, had nominated his son Yazid as his successor. Yazid's nomination was contested by the sons of a few prominent companions of Muhammad, including Hussein, son of the fourth Caliph Ali, and Abd Allah ibn al-Zubayr, son of Zubayr ibn al-Awwam. Upon Muawiyah's death in 680, Yazid demanded allegiance from Hussein and other dissidents. Hussein did not give allegiance and traveled to Mecca. The people of Kufa, an Iraqi garrison town and the center of Ali's caliphate, were averse to the Syria-based Umayyad caliphs and had a long-standing attachment to the house of Ali. They proposed Hussein overthrow the Umayyads. On Hussein's way to Kufa with a retinue of about 70 men, his caravan was intercepted by a 1,000-strong army of the caliph at some distance from Kufa. He was forced to head north and encamp in the plain of Karbala on the 2nd of October, where a larger Umayyad army of 4,000 arrived soon afterwards. Negotiations failed after the Umayyad governor, Ubayd Allah ibn Ziyad, refused Hussein's safe passage without submitting to his authority, a condition declined by Hussein. Battle ensued on the 10th of October, during which Hussein was killed along with most of his relatives and companions, while his surviving family members were taken prisoner. The battle was the start of the second fitna, during which the Iraqis organized two separate campaigns to avenge the death of Hussein. The first one by the Tawabin, and the other one by Mukhtar al-Thaqafi and his supporters. The Battle of Karbala galvanized the development of the pro-Alid B party, Shi'at Ali, into a distinct religious sect with its own rituals and collective memory. It has a central place in Shia history, tradition, and theology, and has frequently been recounted in Shia literature. For the Shia, Hussein's suffering and death became a symbol of sacrifice in the struggle for right against wrong, and for justice and truth against injustice and falsehood. It also provides the members of the Shia faith with a catalog of heroic norms. The battle is commemorated during an annual 10-day period during the Islamic month of Muharram by Shia, culminating on 10th day of the month, known as the Day of Ashura. On this day, Shia Muslims mourn, hold public processions, organize religious gathering, beat their chests, and in some cases self-flagellate. Sunni Muslims likewise regard the incident as a historical tragedy. Hussein and his companions are widely regarded as martyrs by both Sunni and Shia Muslims. After the third Caliph Uthman's assassination by rebels in 656, the rebels and the townspeople of Medina declared Ali, a cousin and son-in-law of the Islamic prophet Muhammad, Caliph. Some of Muhammad's companions, including Talha ibn Ubaydullah, Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, and Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, then governor of Syria, and Muhammad's widow Aisha, refused to recognize Ali. They called for revenge against Uthman's killers and the election of a new caliph through shura, consultation. These events precipitated the first fitna, first Muslim civil war. When Ali was assassinated by Abd al-Rahman ibn Muljam, a Kharijite, in 661, his eldest son Hassan succeeded him, but soon signed a peace treaty with Muawiyah to avoid further bloodshed. In the treaty, Hassan was to hand over power to Muawiyah on the condition that Muawiyah be a just ruler and that he would not establish a dynasty. 1011-12. After the death of Hassan in 670, his younger brother Hussein became the head of the Banu Hashim clan, to which the Islamic prophet Muhammad also belonged. 15. Though his father's supporters in Kufa gave him their allegiance, he would abide to the peace treaty between Hassan and Muawiyah as long as the latter was alive. The Battle of Karbala occurred within the crisis resulting from the succession of Yazid the Famid. In 676, Muawiyah nominated his son Yazid as successor. a move labeled by the historian Wilfred Madelung as breach of the Hassan-Muawiyah Treaty. With no precedence in Islamic history, hereditary succession aroused opposition from several quarters. 19. Muawiyah summoned a shura or consultative assembly in Damascus and persuaded representatives from many provinces to agree to his plan by diplomacy and bribes. 20. He then ordered Marwan ibn al-Hakam, then the governor of Medina, where Hussein and several other influential Muslims resided, to announce the decision. Marwan faced resistance to this announcement, especially from Hussein, Abdullah ibn al-Zubayr, Abdullah ibn Omar, and Abd al-Rahman ibn Abi Bakr, the sons of Muhammad's prominent companions, all of whom, by virtue of their descent, could also lay claim to the caliphal title. 21. 22. Muawiyah went to Medina and pressed the four dissenters to accede. He followed and threatened some of them with death, but they still refused to support him. 23:20. Nonetheless, Muawiyah convinced the people of Mecca that the four had pledged their allegiance and received allegiance from them for Yazid. On his return to Damascus, he secured allegiance from the people of Medina as well. There was no further overt protest against the plan for Yazid's succession. 23:20. According to the historians Fitzpatrick and Walker, Yazid's succession, which was considered as an anomaly in Islamic history, transformed the government from a consultative form to a monarchy. 24. Before his death in April 680, Muawiyah cautioned Yazid that Hussein and Ibn al-Zubayr might challenge his rule and instructed him to defeat them if they did. Yazid was further advised to treat Hussein with caution and not to spill his blood, since he was the grandson of Muhammad. On his succession, Yazid charged the governor of Medina, Al-Walid ibn Utbah ibn Abu Sufyan, to secure allegiance from Hussein ibn al-Zubayr and Abdullah ibn Omar, with force if necessary. Walid sought the advice of his Umayyad relative Marwan ibn al-Hakam, who suggested that Ibn al-Zubayr and Hussein should be forced to pledge allegiance as they were dangerous, while Ibn Umar should be left alone since he posed no threat. Walid summoned the two, but Ibn al-Zubayr escaped to Mecca. Hussein answered the summons but declined to pledge allegiance in the secretive environment of the meeting, suggesting it should be done in public. Marwan told Walid to imprison or behead him, but due to Hussein's kinship with Muhammad, Walid was unwilling to take any action against him. A few days later, Hussein left for Mecca without acknowledging Yazid. 28. He arrived in Mecca at the beginning of May 680-29 and stayed there until the beginning of September. 30. Hussein had considerable support in Kufa, which had been the caliphal capital during the reigns of his father and brother. The Kufans had fought the Umayyads and their Syrian allies during the First Fitna, the 5-year civil war which had established the Umayyad Caliphate. They were dissatisfied with Hassan's abdication and strongly resented Umayyad rule. 31. While in Mecca, Hussein received letters from pro-Walids in Kufa informing him that they were tired of the Umayyad rule, which they considered to be oppressive, and that they had no rightful leader. They asked him to lead them in revolt against Yazid, promising to remove the Umayyad governor if Hussein would consent to aid them. Hussein wrote back affirmatively that a rightful leader is the one who acts according to the Quran and promised to lead them with the right guidance. Then he sent his cousin Muslim ibn Aqil to assess the situation in Kufa. Ibn Aqil attracted widespread support and informed Hussein of the situation, suggesting that he join them there. Yazid removed Nu'man ibn Bashir al-Ansari as governor of Kufa due to his inaction, and installed Ubayd Allah ibn Ziyad, then governor of Basra, in his place. As a result of Ibn Ziyad's suppression and political maneuvering, Ibn Aqil's following began to dissipate and he was forced to declare the revolt prematurely. It was defeated and Ibn Aqil was killed. 32. Hussein had also sent a messenger to Basra, another garrison town in Iraq, but the messenger could not attract any following and was quickly apprehended and executed. Hussein was unaware of the change of political circumstances in Kufa and decided to depart. Abd Allah ibn Abbas and Abd Allah ibn az-Zubayr advised him not to move to Iraq, or if he was determined, not to take women and children with him. The sincerity of Ibn az-Zubayr's advice has been doubted by many historians, however, as he had his own plans for leadership and was supposedly happy to be rid of Hussein. Nevertheless, he offered Hussein support if he would stay in Mecca and lead the opposition to Yazid from there. Hussein refused this, citing his abhorrence of bloodshed in the sanctuary, and decided to go ahead with his plan.